Welcome, everyone. Come on in and have a seat. Excellent, because I have a wonderful little horror story to read to you. Are you ready? Here we go. The streets were eerily quiet, the kind of silence that crawls under your skin. Marcus clutched the worn-out photo of his wife and daughter, the edges crinkled and smudged from constant handling. The snapshot was taken before the world crumbled, his daughter giggling as his wife tried to hide a goofy grin. It was all he had left of them now. He stepped cautiously through the shattered remains of what used to be a neighborhood park. The swings creaked in the wind, their rhythmic squeals piercing the stillness. His eyes darted between the skeletal remains and broken benches, scanning for any sign of movement. The air reeked of decay, and every shadow seemed alive. The message he had found a week ago, scrawled in hurried red paint on the side of a crumbling grocery store, burned in his mind. Safe house, Hillcrest Church. He had followed the trail of painted arrows ever since, desperate for the chance that his family might have sought refuge there. As he approached the church, his breath quickened. The stained glass windows were shattered, the heavy wooden doors hanging off their hinges. The faint sound of whispering floated out, barely audible over the rustling wind. Was it survivors or something else? He gripped the rusty crowbar in his hand and stepped inside. The air was thick and musty, the pews overturned in chaotic disarray. A faint candlelight flickered from the altar, illuminating a crude shrine made of scavenged items, jewelry, photographs, even children's toys. And then he saw it. His daughter's teddy bear, perched atop the pile like a crown. The same one she had clung to every night before bed. His legs moved before his mind could process, rushing to grab it. Tears welled in his eyes as he clutched the stuffed animal, pressing it to his chest. A shuffling sound echoed behind him. He turned sharply, heart pounding. In the shadows stood a figure, thin, ragged, its head tilted unnaturally. It swayed slightly as if studying him, his wife. Her face was pale and hollow, her eyes milky white, lips cracked and twisted into something that once resembled a smile. "Emily?" Marcus whispered, his voice trembling. "It's me. It's Marcus." Her head twitched, jerking to one side, and she took a step forward. That's when he noticed the others emerging from the darkness. Dozens of them, their faces just as broken, their movements jerky and unnatural. "Daddy?" a small voice called. Marcus froze. It came from deeper in the church, behind the altar, his daughter. His heart screamed at him to run toward the voice, but his wife took another step, her decayed hand reaching for him. He stepped back, the photo slipping from his grip, landing face up on the floor. The whispering grew louder, no longer a single voice, but a cacophony of murmurs echoing off the walls. The figures were closing in. "Daddy!" The voice came again, but this time it was different, distorted, wrong. Marcus's mind raced. Was she alive? Could she really be here? Or was it the same cruel trick that had stolen his wife? He backed toward the door, his grip on the crowbar tightening. The shambling figures surged forward, their hollow moans filling the air. He didn't look back as he ran, leaving the teddy bear and the photo behind. Outside, the wind howled as he stumbled into the darkness, the sounds of the dead following him into the night. He didn't stop running, even as the voice called out again, this time louder, closer, and filled with an unnatural hunger.